Okay, so let's talk about how persuasiveness as a human will either make you or break you, and especially as a man. So, I want to talk about one of the things that a lot of people say is the way to gain an incredible amount of influence with others. And what people say often is that the way to gain influence with others is to just give of yourself and give unconditionally and expect absolutely nothing in return. And I would agree with that, but I want to add one caveat to it, and I want to do this in the form of a little story for you. So, I've worked with a few of the best marketers in the world. I worked with Pat Flynn, I worked with Russell Brunson, I've worked with John Assaraf, I worked with Brian Clark from Copyblogger. And in each situation, it started out the same way. It started out with me giving them something without expecting anything in return. But I'm going to put a very important lesson into this, which you're going to deeply absorb into your subconscious, and you're going to understand that in order to become the man and the persuasive person that you want to be, you have to connect with other powerful people. So when I first started out in copywriting, what I would do is I would give away my services freely to pretty much anyone. Gave away free consultations, I gave away advice, I gave away free copy critiques. I did all sorts of things for people for free. And you know what? Most of them didn't, couldn't, or would not hire me for some reason or another. They couldn't afford it, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that, they just didn't want to, they didn't have the balls to pull the trigger and go ahead and, get a sweet copywriter working with them like me. Also, at the time I was still learning, so I looked at it as practice. But then, as I scaled up, as I got better, as I improved my craft, as I developed mastery, I realized I had to be working with people who could actually pay me the types of fees that I wanted to get paid. So that's when I started investing in myself, and I started associating myself with more high-value people who are up here, people who are already killing it. Because you know what? Startups, they're not going to be able to pay you $5,000 for 2 days. They're not. They're strapped for cash. They don't have it. However, with Russell Brunson, he was happy to do that. He was happy to pay me $5,000 for 2 days. And the reason why was because I met him at an event, and I went up and I said, hey, I want to make an offer to you. I want to rewrite some headlines for some of your funnels. And if it works, and if you increase your conversions, then you can give me a testimonial for it. And if it doesn't work, then you don't have to pay me a thing. And I never asked for payment or anything. But you know what I was doing? I was giving with no expectation of anything in return. I ended up writing him like a 25-page document that broke down his 5 market segments, who he was talking to, who he was missing, how he could approach them, and then I gave him a whole ton of headlines which would actually hit those market segments that he had been missing on. So he immediately saw that I had a ton of knowledge and I had a ton of wisdom, and that I was just willing to just give it away to him for free. So the point that I'm making with all this is that yes, it's good to give things away to free for people. It's good to give with no expectation of getting anything in return, but you have to do it to the right people. Because if you're giving away all your time to people who can never pay you back or never pay you what you want to earn and what you deserve to earn, then you're just doing charity work. And not that there's anything wrong with charity work, but let's keep charity and business separate, shall we? So when you're doing charity work, make sure you know it's charity work and don't pretend you're doing business. And when you're doing business, don't pretend you're doing charity work. You're giving away with an expectation that if the work is quality and if the work is good, then that person will want to hire you. And that's not an expectation that you place on them, that's an expectation that you place on yourself. And that means that if you fail, if they don't want to hire you afterwards, then you are the one who screwed it up. You don't get mad at them because they didn't live up to their hidden expectation that you created in your mind. You get mad at yourself and you work on making yourself better because you know what? You failed to deliver enough value in that first interaction when you gave something away for free that they wanted to come back and pay you. And by the way, giving away multiple things for free, so going back to the same influencer and saying, hey, can I help with this? Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I do this for free? That's not gonna work either. Give away one thing for free and then you wait. And then you wait, and you wait, and you make sure that that one thing that you give is of such tremendous, incredible value that they're just blown away and they want to work with you. So that's one way you can become a more persuasive person. And if you're a freelancer, if you're a business owner, if you're just an employee and you're not happy with your life, then that's something you can use. Just give stuff away for free, but make sure you're giving stuff for free to people who can afford to pay you premium prices later on. Anyways, that's all for today, folks. Bo's out.